dry plains and rocky bluffs in southwestern United States are the homeland of Navajo Indians. Navajo land is different from most land in America. This land has a great influence upon the habits and customs of the Indian people. Sheep are important to the Navajo. These animals provide many things needed for life on the reservation. John Carrillo and Michael Carrillo, with their sister Ruth, spend many hours taking care of their sheep. Because grass is so scarce, Navajo Indians must travel continually to find places where the sheep can feed. Thus, many Navajo families have become nomads. These Indian people travel throughout New Mexico and Arizona to find good pastures for their sheep. Sheep are a main source of food for the Navajos. John and Michael Carrillo cannot go to school. Often, they are many miles from a school. They do not have automobiles or buses, so John and Michael stay with their parents and tend sheep. Sheep also give wool to the Navajos. Wool is used for making blankets. John's mother cards or combs the wool by placing it between two boards. The small teeth in these boards comb and straighten the wool fibers. When this is done, the wool is ready for spinning. Navajo Indians seldom wash their wool. Water is very scarce on this dry land. After carding the wool, Mrs. Carrillo uses a stick with a wheel on it to spin the wool. This is called a whorl. It whorls or spins the wool into yarn. John's mother has used a whorl for many years. The yarn she spins is strong and even. The yarn will be dyed, then rolled into woolen balls. These bright balls of colored yarn will be made into rugs or blankets. Long, long hours of work and a lot of yarn are needed to make a blanket. But when the blanket is sold, the family will have money to buy things which are not made on the reservation. Just as long hours of work are needed to make a blanket, so are years of weaving necessary before Mrs. Carrillo can turn out such beautiful blankets. An attractive design is being woven into the blanket. There are no written patterns or directions for making rugs. Mrs. Carrillo keeps the pattern in her mind. Because these rugs are made by hand, no two are exactly alike. Some patterns have religious meanings for the Navajo. Ruth will learn these meanings and acquire the art of rug making by watching and working with her mother. Not all Navajos make rugs. Only a few of 60,000 Navajo Indians earn much money in this way. The most important Navajo occupations are sheep herding, goat herding, and agriculture. We are interested in Navajo arts like rug making because they show us the beautiful things these Indian people make. Jewelry made of silver is also created at home by some Indian workers like Mr. Boha. Mr. Boha's wife helps her husband make silver jewelry. She is working on a ring so a turquoise stone can be fitted into place. Most silver used for this jewelry comes from Mexico. The jewelry will probably be sold to tourists at the reservation's trading post. The Bohas make several kinds of silver jewelry. Mr. Boha punches a design in a strip of metal. It will become a bracelet. After the silver is cut with the metal shears, Mr. Boha hammers it into shape. Then he uses a pair of pliers and bends the bracelet to fit his wrist. Navajo Indians not only make jewelry to sell, they usually like to wear it themselves. Sometimes they wear several bracelets or belts. Jewelry is often used by the Navajos as money or for trading. The amount of jewelry a Navajo has may show his standing in the tribe. Although these Navajo Indians are American citizens, their life is much different from that of most American people. Differences are due to Indian family customs, ceremonies, and traditions, as well as to the condition of their land. John, Michael, and Ruth live in a hogan, which is their house. Winter hogans are made of logs and dirt. The family grinds corn for dinner. Ground corn is used to make tortillas. When dinner is over, the girls get their hair brushed with dry grass. Navajos tie the hair in a ball behind the head. Girls and boys usually fix their hair in much the same way. There are many interesting things to know about Navajo Indian life. You have seen only a few. Perhaps you will now want to learn more about these American citizens and how they live.